Hey, what's going on, guys? So I'm sure some of you have seen Sam Sulek'S full day of eating video on Fouad Abiad's channel, and I'm here to break it down to you guys, show you guys the good, the bad, and the really ugly portions of this diet. So let's get to it.
1,000 calories in the milk jug. Let's see how many. That's 64 grams of fat.
Thank you.
We should probably add these up and we'll splice, whatever. We'll see. 240 grams of carbs, and then what? 70 grams of protein. So I'll just drink this on the way home.
Mike, let me ask.
So right off the bat, I see Sam, he's drinking chocolate milk, a whole jug of chocolate milk for breakfast. And I'm just trying to understand what is the logic behind this. Number one, there's like tons of added sugar and just absolute garbage in that chocolate milk. But also too, just as like a breakfast like meal, like I can't wrap my head around why you would pick chocolate milk other than like it has a ton of calories, but it's liquid. It's not going to absorb as much as if you would have whole food for a breakfast. And he was talking about how it's 1,000 calories, and it's like, yeah, I get that. You know, it's got 60 something grams of fat in it, but how is chocolate milk going to be beneficial to building muscle? I can't understand what is his thinking process behind that. Like, even if he had pancakes, it would be better than this. Protein pancakes would be a great option. Whole eggs, like that's really high in calorie, whole eggs, because there's a lot of fat, good healthy fats in whole eggs. I feel like even like a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's would be better than having chocolate milk for your first meal, if you want to call it that, of the day. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but let's see what his next meal is after.
Zero it out. Just pour in however many grams of milk. Probably 4 cups, so that's what, 960.
All right, so his next meal is going to be cereal and even more milk. Now, the reason why he's having cereal is because he wants to get 400 grams of carbs. But I'm just curious as to why he's picking cereal other than it's tasty. Obviously, because there's a ton of added sugar and it's pretty much just fake food. But understand this, he's having this like pretty much this same type of foods every single day, okay? And if you're in this consistent pattern of just having absolute garbage food, guess what? You're going to feel awful. You're not going to have that great of workouts. The only reason why he's getting away with this is because number one is genetics, and number two, he's using a lot of gear. And he works hard too, don't get me wrong, but not everybody would be able to look like how Sam looks without having amazing genetics, okay? And without taking a good amount of gear as well. But it's just every single second I'm watching this video, I'm just trying to understand the logic of why he's picking absolute garbage food. Like, I'm not saying that every single meal you have to have, it has to be like a perfect, healthy meal, but for the majority, you should, okay? It's okay to have junk food in moderation, but to have it excessively like Sam is, and with this being the pre-workout, being cereal milk, I mean, I feel like this is a diet of like a 7-year-old kid right now, or even worse. Like, this is just crazy to me. But yeah, I just, and then the other thing too is that Fouad is going along with it. Like, I don't understand, you know, you're promoting him for your supplement company. He's popular. You are a professional bodybuilder. Like, why not give him some guidance as to, okay, listen, if you wanted to build more muscle, you want to do even better with your physique, you want to take care of your health, which is number one, start by getting off of a lot of these processed, absolute junk food in your diet and start adding in more whole, organic foods, good carb sources, clean carb sources like rice, sweet potato, fruit, vegetables. You know, at the end of the day, it is calories in, calories out. Okay, I understand that, but then there's also too like micronutrients that, and just being overall healthy. I understand a calorie is a calorie, and if you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. If you're calorie surplus, you're going to gain weight. But you also have to be conscious of like where you're getting your calories sources from. Okay, so that's going to dictate how healthy you are in that sense. So.
I have a lot of meals to catch up on.
He's got the burgers, he's got the fries, and I know there's this, for whatever reason, this theory that after you work out, or like especially after you do a leg day, that you burn a lot of calories and you should treat yourself to a huge meal, or you have to have a huge meal or else you'll lose a ton of muscle. It's a myth. It's an absolute myth. You really don't burn that many calories when you're lifting weights. You probably, on your hardest leg day, you probably burn only 300 calories, and that's really it. You're gonna burn a lot of calories when you're doing cardio and when you're just doing if you have an active lifestyle, like if your NEAT as it would be called, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and that just means you know, cleaning around your house, walking around at work, just doing activities that not necessarily considered exercise. That's what's really going to burn the most calories. And these people that say, well, you need a huge meal after you do like a big leg workout, whatever, because you have to replenish the glycogen storages and all that. It's not true. The people that really need to replenish the glycogen storage is like bike racers, marathon runners, people that lift weights. That's not going to happen. Okay. And yeah, it might help a little bit if you had like an intro workout shake. You know, if you're lifting weights, it might give you that little extra boost for when you're trying to get like that extra rep or two in a future set. But other than that, doesn't really matter.
11 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbs in each of these. There's 3 grams of protein, but I mean, it's from dough. I never count that. Like from bread, or it's nothing. So that.
All right, so just to cap it off, now we got Krispy Kreme donuts and more milk. Again, like all these foods are just going to inflame you just severely. You're going to just blow up with water. You're not going to recover well, okay? And that's the thing. That's huge in building muscle. Everything is about recovery, okay? Sleep is absolutely number one when it comes to recovery, but also number two is your diet. And if you don't have a healthy, balanced diet, you're not going to recover the way you need to recover from your workouts, all right? So having wholesome, healthy foods, that is going to be the micronutrients that you need to adequately recover from those hard workout sessions that you did in order to build new muscle tissue. So if you're just going out and you're doing a dirty bulk, that is not the answer, okay? I've done massive bulks before and I've gained 50 pounds. And then when I had to cut, it was absolutely horrendous. I had to suffer like no other. I was pretty much dying. I had zero energy whatsoever. It was an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. And the job that I was doing at the time was very physically demanding, so I had to not only cut at a severe calorie deficit, but I also had to be actively working on my feet all day, and on top of that, I had to do cardio, and I had to do a workout. And then when I came home, I couldn't even eat. So it's not a recipe for success at all. It's not wise. If you're doing a bulking and then a cutting, the problem that you run into is that eventually that bulk, it has to stop, and then you're going to have to cut severely. And when you do that cut, you may in fact lose a lot of muscle too, because you can't eat a whole lot. You have to go into a severe calorie deficit. I remember one prep, I was eating 5,000 calories in my off season. Then as soon as I jumped in the prep, I had to cut down to 2,300, and then eventually I had to cut to 1,500 calories at one point. And I tell you what, I weighed the exact same as I did a year ago when I had competed in my first show. And I still, in my first show, I also did a crazy cut as well, where I lost, I think it was 40 pounds I lost in my first show, and then my second show I had to lose 50. So it's not wise. It's better to get to a healthy body fat percentage, which for men would be either 10 to 20%, or for women, it would be more like 20 to 30% body fat. And it's just better for hormonal balance. You have energy to actually feel like a normal person. A lot of times people, they feel the pressure of social media where they have to get very lean, be lean all year round. And it just ends up hindering you in the long run. So that's why I'm just so confused by the logic of this diet, other than he's just trying to get the calories in, but the quality of the calories matter too. Like if he wasn't on a lot of the gear that he's on now, he would look like absolute garbage. And he has amazing genetics where he's able to get away with this, but if you're someone who is natural and you don't have the best genetics, do not try this at all. Nobody should try this, by the way. All right, so if you are someone who's trying to bulk and you're like Sam, some healthy foods that can help you to add on weight would be like cashews, walnuts, almonds, peanut butter, oils. For sure. Definitely add in fats, like healthy fats, because per 1 gram of fat, there is 9 calories, whereas per 1 gram of carbs and protein, there's 4 calories. So if you want to bulk up, I would highly recommend having, adding in a lot of fats. And the reason for that is because fats, since they're so calorically dense, the serving size is not going to be as much as if you were to have like strawberries, or if you were to have spinach. So like oil, it's so easy to add in like 2 tablespoons of olive oil to your meal, and that's 240 extra calories right there, and that's just for like one meal. So if you are trying to bulk up, I definitely recommend adding in fats. And as far as for like if you're trying to lose body fat, it would be the opposite end. So definitely keep in fats. Don't cut out fats. You need healthy fats for hormonal balance, but it's just the amount of fats that you need. So I would say really for anybody, definitely like anywhere from 30 to 40 grams of fat is an adequate amount to remain healthy as far as like hormonal balance. But if you're just a normal person, you just want to like lose body fat, look good, you really only have to just track what you're eating, okay? Track, like for a couple of days, track what you're eating, and then whatever that number is, just subtract it by either 250 or 500 calories, and right there, you guys will be well on your way to losing body fat. And it's the slower, the better, okay? So if you're losing a half a pound or a pound a week, that is absolutely perfect. I can't tell you how many times someone's come up to me and they're like, oh, I'm struggling, and I don't know, I don't think I'm really doing that good because I only lost like 1 or I only lost 2 pounds this week. And I was like, dude, that's amazing. That's what you should be trying to do. You should be only trying to lose 1 to 2 pounds or even a half a pound a week. And you can study it too. You can research it, because for 1 pound of fat is approximately 3,500 calories. So if you divide that into 7 days, you know, there's 500 calorie deficit. You'll lose 1 pound of fat per week. So that's really how you would break it down. If you're trying to do that, you don't even have to necessarily even play around with your diet. If you're just someone who is sedentary and you just added in like being more active, or you just added in like a little bit of cardio, that can act as your calorie deficit. It doesn't have to be like you eating less. But I will say from experience, if you're just add in just low calorie dense foods, like things like fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, and just start researching yourself, guys. So I'll put a future video out putting like the best low calorie dishes, or like foods that I've experienced that helped me stay satiated when I'm, you know, cutting down for a show, just to make it that much easier. Because 95% of diets fail, and usually those diets fail because of hunger. So it's all about combating that, those hunger signals. And I'll tell you, ghrelin it's a force to be reckoned with. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone, and it's a challenge to suppress that when you're dieting down, especially for a bodybuilding show, because that's, you know, you're dieting to the extreme, low body fat percentage, which is not healthy. Okay, whenever you look at someone, they're like 9% body fat or single digit body fat percentage, it's not healthy. You shouldn't really be aspiring to be that lean. It should be anywhere for men. It should be like anywhere from, like, I would say 10 to 20% body fat. That's a pretty good range. So yeah, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. You enjoyed my breakdown of Sam's, I guess you could say, diet. I don't know, but I just hope you guys like the video, comment, and click the bell notification, share the video.